Nurses Week Gifts of the Year 2025 edition. I have read thousands of emails and DMs from nurses around the world, not even just the country. I have poured through everything. I have the receipts. I have the screenshots. I have the videos, everything. Grab a drink, grab a seat. We are going to get through this together. Episode 100 of the Nurses Uncorked Podcast breaks all these down in way more detail, so you're going to want to go and give that a listen. But I've added to the list since then, so you do not want to miss this. Disclaimer, these gifts are all alleged. They were submissions from nurses around the country and around the world, but they're allegedly. Themes for this year. I am so glad to report that I did not see a single "you rock" gift. Thank God that has gone away. Red carpets seem to be a theme this year. That's literally their gift. They're rolling out a red carpet and you get to walk into work like the star that you are for your shift. Be so for real. Come on now. Pet therapy, wellness walks, executive roundings, blessings of the hands. That needs to go like the rocks. Can we please get rid of blessings of the hands? That this year they added a virtual version. Virtual blessings of the hands. I'm sorry, what? Dress up like your coworkers. Violence de-escalation training. If you had proper security, we wouldn't need the training. And that's not a gift. Do better. This is another one that needs to go away. Every year there are multiple versions of this nurse survival gift. They are patronizing and cheap and insulting. I'm looking at you, Trinity Health Muskegon Hospital, allegedly. So it's always some crazy version of this. A match to light your fire, a rubber band to hold it all together, one starburst for a burst of energy, one Tootsie Roll so you can roll with the punches, a lifesaver to remind you that you're a lifesaver. Let's talk about some of the worst activities for Nurses Week. We've got CHI St. Joseph Health that really served their nurses animal crackers and bananas at shift change. You know, because we're children. Sidewalk chalk, as if we have time to go outside. And as if we're children, that one needs to go every damn year. Make your own nurse's cap, all sorts of arts and crafts. Make paper airplanes. Looking at you, Corwell, Grosse Pointe. Lehigh Valley Health Network Children's Hospital in Pennsylvania. Their Friday activity was, no joke, PTO approved. Pretend your PTO was approved and pretend you're on a luxurious island. HCA Houston Healthcare West. Wednesday's activity, blessings of the hands with hand massages. But joke's on you, nurses, because what they're not telling you is you're the ones that are going to have to give the hand massages to each other. And possibly the most disturbing activity of the week, Endeavor Health on Monday really hosted a waxing booth in the hospital sanctuary with expert wax technicians. What are we waxing? Moving into the worst gifts, Franciscan Health in Seattle. The gift included a sticker of a crystal ball that says, "You will be short-staffed." We don't even want to pretend like we're trying. HCA Eastern Idaho Regional Medical Center was generous enough to gift each unit a box of cinnamon rolls on Nurses Day with a little note that said only half a cinnamon roll per person. Mount Carmel Grove City gifted its nurses a cheap little tiny plastic measuring tape keychain. Something tells me no one was charting their wound measurements. UPMC Pennsylvania gifted its nurses the tiniest Tic Tac box you have ever seen. I think it holds 4. Athena One in New Jersey sent its nurses an email gifting them space to use their voices and discuss their concerns. You know, the ones that were honest were getting called into the manager's office the next week to discuss what they said. You can't even make some of these up. Trinity Health of New England and Massachusetts gifted its nurses swag that they swiped from conferences that say Walden University and Chamberlain University. PRMCA gave its nurses a QR code that they could scan for the opportunity to be CNO for the day with Linda. Nobody wants that, Linda. No one. I promise you, not one nurse wants that. Sometimes Nurses Week gifts comes in the form of actually taking things away. Penn Highlands Healthcare in Pennsylvania took away paid sick time for Nurses Week, and Endeavor Health in Chicago eliminated pay differential during Nurses Week. Ochsner Medical Center in New Orleans, a fan favorite of years past. You'll recall they're the ones that laid off like 800 nurses during Nurses Week a couple years ago, and then they tried to recover by inventing Nurses Week in July, like 2.0. Yeah. This year, they didn't do much better. They gave their nurses a polished stone that says breathe and a little satchel of lavender. MUSC, Medical University of South Carolina, God, I cannot stand them, gifted its nurses a beer cozy in a cheap plastic cup. Encompass Health, the tiniest hand sanitizer and single-use hand sanitizer, the tiniest ones you've ever seen. From Covenant Health Senior VP, who is a nurse, a safety keychain. It says, delighted to present you with a special token of appreciation, a safety keychain to serve as a reminder that your safety matters to us. But it is not to be used in patient care areas. Well, that's unfortunately where we need it. University of California, San Francisco gifted its nurses a single Oreo. It's a fancy Oreo, but it is a single Oreo. And of course, on the back it says it contains a bioengineered food ingredient. Northwestern Lake Forest Hospital in Illinois gifted its nurses experiences and opportunities via a VR empathy lab where you could experience things like what it's like to be Beatrice, an Alzheimer's patient, through a virtual journey. Before I tell you my top 4, I have 2 honorable mentions because I don't know where these 2 are from. One was an email on Nurses Day with a link to a Starbucks gift card, but when you click on it, turns out it's a phishing scam test email. Yeah, you know those nurses are going to get mandatory modules. And the second honorable mention I can tell you is from Vancouver, British Columbia, but that's all I can tell you. I have seen pictures of it. It was, in fact, a bag of potatoes. Potatoes. My personal top 4 worst Nurses Week gifts of 2025, in no particular order: Henry Ford Health, antibiotic ointment, and alcohol pads. UF Health Shands in Florida gifted its nurses cotton balls in a Ziploc bag. They are soaked in lavender, and it says, if you need a lift, take a sniff. This one has to come with a disclaimer. I love music therapists. I work with them all the time. This is nothing against the music therapists out there, but Eskenazi Health in Indiana really made its musical therapy department write and sing a song for nurses on Nurses Day because that's free. Email with a link to the song. You cannot. I'm convinced they go to the same conferences every year and they find out where they can get the best deal on, because there were at least 3 or 4 different organizations that gifted these. Wellstar, Providence, St. Peter's. Personal massagers. Vibrators. They gifted their nurses vibrators. I'm told they're really loud. Listen, we're not greedy. We don't expect much. It's the fact that these gifts are insulting and degrading and patronizing. One shout out to UAE Healthcare Burjeel Holdings, who surprised 10 nurses with brand new Toyota RAV4s. Geez, it's almost like they make enough money where they can do that. They do.